Wasn't finished, but we're not done. Well, now there's a war to be won. We never died, not even once. Welcome to the Resurgence. Hello there and welcome to Orange Best, the upper bracket finalist, the guy playing as the Brits, playing as Dak, looking to go for the jugular and looking to beat the rising force of Company of Heroes 3 competitive. Fergie has emerged as a almighty rival for Orange Best. These two look likely to be our generation's version of Love Nest Dev. We're the same generation because all the guys in chat have been watching this stuff for years. And I've got two grizzled veterans with me today. I've got Momo for show. How are you doing, Momo?
Doing great. Happy to be here on an all-time classic map between two of CoH3's Titans, although Love Nest versus Devon may be a little bit premature of a comparison for them.
He's a big Love Nest stan. He just loves Love Nest. Sorry to speak about the Holy One so closely to his biggest follower. And I've also got Daniel D. How are you doing, Daniel?
I'm doing great, man. I could not be more excited for this.
Right, let's talk about the map choice. It's a 600 victory point best of 5 battle, and Orange Pest is trolling. He's the upper bracket finalist, and he got the map choices, guys. Fergie was able to veto 2 maps. He vetoed Twin Beaches and Kesserine Pass. Orange Pest has chosen for us today, not just a dingo as Brits. He's chosen Crossroads. Then it's over to, help me out here, Stern Panther, what's next? Semwar's last, I know that one.
Semwar's
Pacino.
Pacino, that was it. So it's Crossroads, Pacino, Semwar. This is going to be an arduous, endurance-based slog, isn't it, guys?
Absolutely, especially with the 600 VPs, kind of like a little bone thrown to the VP drain complaints. It's going to be very interesting.
It was originally Momo, but I didn't know they were going to be playing on Crossroads. As soon as he picked Crossroads, I was like, oh no. So I Steam messaged Orange Pest and said, you are aware it's 600 VPs, right? He said, no, I forgot.
Oof. I'm sure he can adapt to it.
Yeah.
He's got UKF in his roster here. What's super great about this tournament is we've seen every faction, which hasn't really been a thing in our previous Master League games. You know, generally it was whatever was the strongest two.
Yeah, definitely.
That was like 95% of the matchups.
Look at this, guys. Fergie, for the first time in forever, is departing from Coastal Reserves. He's gone Luftwaffe. What do you think about that, Daniel?
I'm surprised and maybe a little nervous for him. My assumption is that he's thinking that the loiter on this map is really strong because it becomes the slog over center, and that in a longer 600 VP game that maybe he can leverage the benefits of the manpower discount. But I'm very surprised. Perhaps also just hoping to save Coastal, for Semwa if it comes to game 5 or something like that.
Double Royal Engineer, Dingo, double infantry section for Orange Pest. No commander chosen. Sorry, battle group chosen as they're called now. And talking of battle groups, it's battle group Terminator for this best of 5. So they can only go a battle group once. What's that going to do to affect them, Momo?
Well, like Daniel was saying, you have to really choose what maps you want to deploy each battle group. If they're planning for the long game, in Fergie's case, having Coastal for a map like Semwa is going to be pretty strong. And on the other end, with a faction like Brits, there's 2 doctrines there with Colin medium tanks, I should say, and one with Churchills, which is armored. So you got to be way more tactical about which ones you lock in. You can see that Orange Pest hasn't picked anything. He's not picked in Indian, so there's no Polston or anything coming out. He's not floating for it, so we can kind of rule that out right now. Leaves the other 2.
Look at that base placement for the platoon command post there. It's not platoon, infantry command post there. It's planted basically outside the base exit, like within the confines of the map itself, almost like a forward headquarters. Which is kind of cute.
Some value reinforcement potentially.
Definitely.
Backtrack there. Dingo pushing in with some artillery on the MG, forcing it to pull back.
Yeah, and Royal Engineers, they're low on health, but they're going to help out regardless. This MG42 is well defended. And do you want to inform viewers at home who are tuning in just for a grand final? They do exist, trust me. How does Ferrigy play, Daniel? What's his play style like?
He's very safe. He doesn't like to take risks. He doesn't want to dive you. He's confident in his ability to get to the point where he's got 2 AT guns and some vehicles and to just slowly beat you with positional play, which I think actually, we didn't address this yet, but I think can be maybe an advantage for him. The 600 VPs, I think, really plays into Ferrigy's style and kind of, inversely, Orange Pest maybe not so much.
Yeah, and Momo, what do you think makes Orange Pest so good?
He's pretty aggressive. I would say he's kind of the opposite of Ferrigy. When he sees an opportunity, he's just gonna send it. He doesn't necessarily take as much of a risk assessment as Ferrigy would. He sees the blood in the water, he just jumps at it. You can see that in the way he plays, very consistently, I would say.
Oh, and that kind of plays into his hands that he's going to use the Humber here if he is an aggressive player. And I like to think they're both kind of similar in their overall mechanical approach, but you're exactly right, Momo. It's all about the aggression profile. And Orange Pest is going to go for the Humber. Haven't seen that all tournament.
A little late, but yeah, it could be pretty effective here. Ferrigy doesn't have any healing. He's kind of banking on the Luftwaffe, the Fallschirm Pioneers hitting Vet 1. One of them's hit that now. Got a bit of self-healing. 221's building. Probably going to have to get a Panzerbusche as soon as it hits the field.
So Dingo, Humber, 3 infantry sections, 2 Royal Engineers. He's up against there. The 221's hitting, like Momo said. And yeah, it's starting to develop. I will point out on the tap map, by the way, we do have the +5 on Ferrigy's side taken by Orange Pest right now. He's gotten 28 fuel income versus 13 at the moment for Ferrigy.
Yeah, really dominating the center here. He used the decoy flares just to push the MG back, and then dropped the regular RD on the MG. So this MG is basically continued to have to move, and it's allowed him to deny the +5 and now the cutoff, which is pretty huge at this stage of the game.
Yep.
I'd like to see Orange Pest use the Dingo healing. He's got 3 squads nearby it that could totally benefit from it right now, but he's being a bit aggressive with it. Panzerbusche is locked.
Panzerbuske's pushing up. And there's the cutoff. Ferrigy's resources, guys. Check it out. +10 muni, +3 fuel coming in per minute. That's nothing. That's the base sector, basically, in 1 munitions.
Yeah, that's
Grenades
brutal.
now
North
coming
side
in.
crossroads.
Grenades teching for Orange Pest, it seems. There we go. Yet grenade package. That's 3 infantry sections. This is a very aggressive start for the Big Swede.
Yeah, and with the muni he's got, I think he's going to be able to keep applying the pressure here. It's going to be really hard for these Axis infantry to hold up to the grenades, I think, and hold the cutoff. Yep.
Oh, gosh, that MG is now bits of flesh all strewn across the field there. Panzerbuske's not been able to find a target. Will it get its shot? Yes, it will. Dingo in peril. One more shot, perhaps? Nope. And look at this Humber, guys. He doesn't want Ferrigy to get any fuel at any point. He just wants to sit on it.
Yeah, you can't let Wehrmacht lock down. He's playing this quite well, being very aggressive, utilizing the cover near that north side cutoff. You've seen with the sappers near that little garrison, just trying to delay as much as possible. It's 9-minute mark, and I don't think Ferrigy's upgraded the support elements, so
No
will win anytime soon.
He's going to be relying on this Jaeger with the Shrek. He was able to keep a munitions point during all that attack. And, yeah, he's going to get his opponent down to 500 victory points, Daniel.
Yeah, got a ways to go yet, and again, I think that's that really favors Ferrigy here. He had enough muni for the Shrek, which is going to be essential. I think if Orange Pest had been able to cut him off sooner and denied the 16 muni for longer, I think could have been lights out for Ferrigy. But the fact that he's able to get the Panzerbuske, he's got the Shrek, he has all the tools he needs now, and unless Orange Pest chooses one of these call-in tanks, I think
Oh, sorry to interrupt there. Ferrigy's going for the kill, and a rare moment there. 2-2-1 pushes up with Shrek support, but like we saw yesterday quite a lot, he does not continue. If he spies danger, Momo, he backs up.
Super safe play. It's starting to pay off for him though. He's retaining ground now. He's able to actually cap his half of the map. Orange Pest is elected to go for an AT gun now. He's got to keep the 2-2-1 zoned out because it's being screened quite well, and the Humber's not really going to have any space to maneuver.
Yeah, you can just see the 2-2-1's done so much work, and these vehicles have been being repaired for a while. Look at the value he's getting from that Dingo constantly with its ability.
I feel like the Brit Army has a sort of a low point here. You know, when you get the AT gun out, and once there's AT for the Humber, this is where I think without a doctrine choice, you know, Orange Pest's Brits are going to have a hard time applying pressure like he was a few minutes ago.
Yeah. Yeah, people don't really know what to do with the early to mid game, how to transition as Brits. I mean, I think the design is meant to be that you spam light vehicles and then withdraw and refit them to transition into tier 3, surely. But it's easier said than done to manage them.
Yeah, Stewart doesn't have a lot of anti-infantry power, and Humber's squishy. So once there's, you know, a couple of AT pieces on the field for the Axis, the light vehicle play on a lot of maps becomes pretty much impossible to do meaningful damage, except, you know, maybe on the flanks.
I think it's probably the play. You mentioned the refit. He's building company command posts, and Dingo's just chilling in base. That's going to get traded in, and it's more than half a guard squad in that Dingo.
Wow.
Humber's kind of just chilling back. Ferrigy spotted the AT gun, so he knows you can't really dive with the 2-2-1. Not that he was going to, but a little bit of information there for him.
People don't know why. Some people want to have the casting UI, but I prefer to keep as much of the game space unveiled as possible, and I have the advantage of having two analyst casters. Daniel, what's the KD at the moment for these two players?
It is 23-18, actually in Ferrigy's favor, so we're seeing these mid-game fights start to go his way a lot more.
It makes sense. The aggressor is going to take more casualties usually. It's not too bad of a ratio for him. But look at this. The Humber's camping in base too now. So these are both going to get refit. And you're going to see Orange Pest jump up a ton of resources.
Oh, wow.
Probably enough to pump out a Matilda nearly.
Wow. I genuinely say that out loud thinking the players aren't going to do that, Momo. So it's nice to see Orange Pest play the faction as it was designed to be played. Wow.
One other note, I really hope that Orange Pest, now that the Dingo's gone, he starts investing into these sections. You know, he did just get infantry training, but they need to get Brens.
Yes.
Those things are really good now.
Though they've been good for several patches, it's just they were too expensive, and now they're a little bit better and cheaper. That's right, isn't it?
That's right.
How have your own Brit games... Go on, Daniel, what you're saying, son?
Oh, go ahead. I was just going to say, I think actually some of that is him teching grenades and like really using the Dingo, Flare, and Artie. You know, he's only got 77 munis, so he's a minute from his first Bren, and that's if he doesn't want to put any mines down, if he doesn't want to get... well, I guess he's hazard removal, but yeah, he's pretty low on muni for the upgrades, which I think could definitely hurt him.
He's gone for air and sea battle group, and it looks like he's going straight for the anti-tank loiter, or even the bombing run. I don't think it'll be the bombing run, though.
Hopefully he doesn't get the loiter. That thing's been so disappointing for me. But the guards are out. Instant Vet 1. One of my favorite units in the game. Quite strong.
Yeah, they can do everything, right? There's not a target they can't hit. So let's talk about the build order as it stands. Ferrigy now has the mortar out. It's going straight behind that bush. He seems to have stabilized and then some. Two Jaegers currently dominating both garrisons in the center with a Vet 2 MG. Three Pioneers. He's looking really tight, isn't he? He's looking really strong right now.
I would say so. The longer this game goes, he has access to the infantry reserves. He's going to get a nice manpower discount that Orange Pest doesn't have. He's going to have access to the superior loiter, with Brits having practically no anti-air available now that he hasn't gone armored. Yeah, if he utilizes the merge with the reinforce reduction, he's going to be very manpower efficient.
He's already a manpower efficient player, though, isn't he, Daniel? So, as you say, these infantry reserves, Ferrigy is buffing himself mid-game.
Yeah, I think it's going to come down a lot to what this first Matilda can get done. You know, we're seeing the Warble come out, which means that when this Matilda hits, it's going to be the double Shreks, and that can go either way. You know, if there's some good casualties that Orange Pest can inflict, if he can kind of break into the center, you know, maybe he can get some momentum. But if this first Matilda comes out and like eats 3 or 4 Shrek shots and has to go back and repair, I think it's going to be tough for him to come retake the center.
Ooh, Royal Engineers in a spot of bother in the center. They overstretched. They throw a grenade and they run away.
Kind of a desperate nade, but just to add to Daniel's point there, you can't forget about the Panzerbuchse. It's still around. With the Matilda being so slow, he has access to that white phosphorus round. Buy him valuable time.
Give him a taste of his own medicine. Orange Pest used that white phosphorus to devastating effect on Ferrigy in their series in the Champs Road minor event we had last month. So yeah, that could be interesting. Nice premonition from Momo there. We're going to get a Marder next. Ferrigy is just a monster as Wehrmacht, isn't he, Daniel?
Yeah, he's very... I mean, I think it fits his playstyle. You know, Wehrmacht has kind of a slow early game where you really want to be conservative, you know, outside of a few doctrinal choices, and you just start to build up this force that when everything is together on the center of Crossroads, it gets very hard to break unless you can force a micro mistake or drop a big off map.
Yeah.
Mando LMGs coming down.
Mando LMGs. Wow. Okay. Mandos!
Their
I'm trying to...
fire is really good.
Is it?
Yeah, and of course they can camo. So he's got his own camo unit.
Could be just a choice to counter the Shreks. You know, the Shreks have no vet. We don't have officers' quarters. I think the LMG commandos would do really well against the Shreks if they can, you know, avoid getting shredded by the Werbel.
But the Mandos are good for on Crossroads as well. There's a lot of heavy cover in the center. They'll be able to leapfrog, maybe attack the mortar, maybe attack the MG, but they may be spotted by the similarly cloaked Jaegers on the way.
There you go, popping his camo assault there, forcing those Jaegers to backpedal. I want to see Orange Pest go for grants.
Yeah.
Matildas aren't really going to cut it on an open map like this. You can see that the Martyrs initiated siege mode, already chunked off a nice bit of HP from this Matilda. He's just going to get outranged.
Yeah, Grant saw the talisman mascot of the tournament, so that would be very cool indeed. And there we go, we have got infantry reserves for Ferrigy. He's used all his command points, meanwhile Orange Pest has got 4 to spend. And, yep, he now has 5, so let's see if he's going to go for anti-tank rocket loiter. Doesn't have that much munitions, but that may be part of his plans. Is he prepared for the long haul here, gents? Has he given up on trying to take Ferrigy out in some amazing early game play, or mid-game play it would be now? Is he just preparing for the endurance battle?
Yeah, I mean, that's sort of Brit's game. I don't think, you know, if you're gonna go all in, you're gonna go Crusader. If you go Matilda, you're saying I want to slug it out.
What are these Mandos doing?
They're dying.
Oh my god, he literally forgot about that.
They're dying, Momo. The MG picks them off. The Pioneers did a lot of work as well. That's terrible from Orange Pest. I want to say he was preparing for some awesome flank, but I can't see anything that should have distracted him to that extent.
Oh, that's so brutal. You can't afford these losses against infantry reserves.
No. Let's remind ourselves of the cost. It's a 320 manpower squad. It's not the end of the world, but it's not great, is it? Not really what you want to have happen.
Oh, it was calculated. He got the mid-VP with it, so you know, all worth.
Oh, 221 goes down to a 6-pounder. Orange Pest gets straight back in the game.
This is classic Orange Pest. Take a loss and play aggressive afterwards.
Yeah. I like my
221 for Commando LMG any day of the week.
Yeah, same. Yeah. So, especially with the Muni upgrade as well. So, basically, Orange Pest is like one of those boxers that takes 2 to give 1, you know. He doesn't mind what happens to his own face as long as he rearranges yours.
Mm-hmm. I want to call out Ferrigy's positioning with this Martyr. People usually put it in the middle, but he's got it over on the right, where I feel like it's much safer and it can still apply pressure to the Matilda. I really like the way he's got that positioned.
It's because this map has changed slightly. The bases have swiveled 45 degrees, so they are facing the center from both directions now. Oh, by the way, Werble low. Matilda's too slow to deal with it, but the 6-pounder isn't. That gets a good shot. Meanwhile, infantry fighting in the center. Engine damage delivered to the Verbal Vin. Can the Matilda get a shot in? Can the 6-pounder get a shot in? It looks likely. Oh, so close. So close. I don't think he has visual anymore. Matilda's going to go in. Oh, attack crown from the Matilda misses, but he had the right idea there, and it looks like the Verbal's going to escape.
Orange has no manpower.
Yeah, he just teched for grants, actually.
Oh, nice. Okay.
That's the beauty of a Matilda there. Tanking things for you, but can't kill anything.
Yeah, Matilda is a tank in the kind of MOBA sense of the word. More like a Reinhardt of a vehicle. Can't really do that much damage, but it just sponges so much and creates a distraction for your AT guns. Very reminiscent of the KV-8 or KV-1 playstyles of Company Heroes 2, where you get 2 Zis guns and push up behind the heavy bullet sponge, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, and to be fair, I meant can't kill tanks. It can definitely kill infantry.
Yeah.
This thing can wipe infantry quite easily. Oh, that's heartbreaking, though. Those 2 Werbles were both 1 hit from death, and they both got away. Now Fergie is soaring away with the kill-death ratio. It's getting worse and worse.
What is it, Momo? What is the KD?
60 to 40.
Oh, there you go. 1.5 KD for Fergie right now. 6-pounder pushes up. He did neutralize a victory point, a rare move on Crossroads. Oh, Royal Engineers looking low, but they're likely to escape.
Oh, Satchel in the middle, VP! Oh, okay.
Yeah, he moved out of there. He did. Matilda, meanwhile, pushes away the 2 Jaeger strikes. Ah, the Jaegers are out of there, so Orange Pest should push forward now. He's got the foot guards. He's got the Matilda ready to go full bill of health. He may claim the center.
Orange Pest is bleeding so much, though. He has the fuel for a grand. He's had it for several minutes now, but just no manpower.
Oh, that's brutal.
You know he doesn't want to refit the Matilda. It's that 1 now.
Yeah, you wouldn't do that anyway. I don't think it's not that bad.
No, I think you'd want the Matilda. I mean, the Grants have better DPS, but they don't have the front armor the Matilda does. And against the double Shrek with the Martyr, I think you need something to soak up damage. If it's just Grants, I think they go down, you know, to the Shreks and the Martyr.
Yeah. Look how efficient Fergie's been with his infantry reserves. I've seen him utilizing Merge.
Oh my gosh.
21 cost Jaegers without Merge, like 16 or 17 with. Okay, Orange Pest has finally locked in some commander options here. He's gone for the Rocket Loader. I think he's going to be sorely disappointed.
Yeah, has he really?
It's quite bad.
It's okay against the Martyr, because the Martyr wants to lock down, right? So that's like, you can justify it. I would still rather not see it personally, but maybe he'll prove us wrong.
Nearly a rare loss for Fergie there. The Falchion Pioneers nearly bit the dust. Well, let's see.
And by prove us wrong, you mean get lucky.
yeah, basically.
Okay. Out of his control there. There we go. Finally a grant in production.
Wow,
it's
it's
to park
taken
some
so
units
long.
in base. Look at that. So you can actually get it.
All the points you've been making, guys, are absolutely valid. We've currently got Orange Pest on basically no manpower. Fergie is floating 500 manpower as we speak. So that just shows the benefits of preservation. He's at 82 pop cap. Orange Pest only at 58. So we've got a clash in play styles here, haven't we, gents? We've got Orange Pest, who's arguably got better micro in terms of aggression and the ability to overwhelm somebody, but Fergie just has this incredible preservation-driven play style.
It certainly helps to have a 25% discount.
Yeah, he doesn't even know what to spend his manpower on. I'd like to see him buy something else here. I'm not sure.
Bunkers. Caches.
Anything, really. I mean, he's got tier 3, so...
Municash. Say Municash is the play here.
Yeah.
Or you can go for Fallschirmjäger. Or another Martyr.
A lot of options. No reason to have 600 manpower and 85 fuel.
Orange Pest is bouncing back, though, because Fergie never really goes for the kill, so of course The Company Heroes mechanics of the upkeep means you get more manpower in a minute the less you have. So Orange Best, of course, will start to bounce back now, and he's pushing through the center.
Grant making itself known on the left side of the map. Immediately takes return fire from the Martyr.
Yeah, a lot of repositioning. There's actually skirmishes developing all over the place. Have we got through the sleepy middle game of Crossroads? Perhaps.
Looks like it. We've got the Jaegers pushing into the other VP now. Fergie making a rare play on his opponent's side of the map, which I like to see, because he definitely has the lead here, and I think he should be pushing it harder.
Oh, no.
Here comes the skill planes.
That's a lot of skill. That's a lot of playing. And the Matilda's well, it's getting away quite easily. It was the infantry section that got a lot of collateral damage. Meanwhile, Fergie's pushed in with double Jaegers, Verbal Wind, and he's recapping the central victory point. Orange Pest can't do anything.
He has access to his own skill planes too, but there's just no opportunity to use it. And Fergie could instantly just pop AA mode on the Werbles if they're not stuck right in combat, that is.
Really
Grant
important
here
battle.
trying to protect the Sapper.
Yeah, really important battle in the northwest victory point. The Verbal Wind goes straight for the Royal Engineer. The Grant's fighting hard. Surely that's his opportunity to use... Ah, what a shot there. Grant is so good now.
So good, that double cannon. And he utilizes the Vet 1 steady assault, so he buffed his fire rate by 50%. Deleted that thing. That's a good pickup for him.
And the
Skill
Royal
planes still
Engineers
doing skill plane
survived as
things,
well.
though.
Yeah, they still are. Meanwhile, Orange Pest has locked in naval bombardment for later on. He's currently got 215 munitions. So he's getting ever close to the 225 needed for that. So maybe Rocket Loiter is just a misnomer.
Hopefully. Well, that being said, yeah,
Nice.
I wouldn't use naval bombardment, but hopefully, you know, I would have seen Incendiary locked in over the Rocket Loiter. Go ahead.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, Fergie had the two Jaegers south, had the Loiter still running, and they were both half health, and he sent them back to base instead of capping the VP or capping the Muni. I think just way too conservative there. Missed an opportunity to apply some pressure on Orange Pest side of the map in favor of just, running his troops back to base.
Yep. Orange Pest has
You guys
been...
noticed?
Go on, Momo.
Go. Apologies, but I don't know if you guys noticed, but Fergie actually went for Panzer Grenadier headquarters. He has a pack out.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be maybe a Nebel to counter the 6-pounder. I'm surprised to see the pack, but it works versus the Grant, definitely.
Yeah, it's a Grant counter, isn't it? He's Luftwaffe, so he's got access to not much else. What's this? Here we go. That's naval bombardments. It's going to be on that said pack. What pack are you on about? I can't even see a pack.
I just looked away for a second and it's gone.
Oh, there's more to
That
come.
MG is catching it too.
Yes. That house could be splinters if he's not careful.
Yeah, the spread on that is pretty unpredictable. He moved the pack like immediately, but just still managed to eat it. It's pretty tough loss.
That's okay. He's instantly rebuilding it. Has enough for another one if he wanted to.
Of course he does, yeah. This is
You know, he
Fergie.
also rebuilt his Werble too, and I think he bought the Vet 1 on Luftwaffe headquarters, potentially?
He did, yeah.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, it came out Vet 1 right away. I would like to see him go tier 4 for like a Broombar or something. P4 is going to get trashed by the Grant, but Broombar, it's got nice deflection damage, it can Shrek infantry. It's quite good.
When you've got as many resources as Fergie has, yeah, you can start to consider Brumbear, but I think Pack 40 is a decent choice, He's just unlucky. He did lose its 225 munitions, though, so that is a trade. It's not the worst trade in the world.
It is a huge trade because Orange Pest is only able to upgrade one infantry section. We're almost 30 minutes in. These guys are hurting for some upgrades.
Yep. Those upgrades were given to take away one Pack 40, and it was rebuilt immediately. So, although it looked pretty, it wasn't actually that effective. Demer in chat says he needs to OP his ammo. We know, we pointed that out. It's one of those things that Fergie would probably look back on and think, oh, why didn't I do that?
OP2 could have done it. OP from OP, please. Like, he's got the discounted ones, too, so it's 150. You don't even have to send an RE. I'm surprised we didn't see one really early. I honestly, looking at this, feels like out of character unpreparedness from Orange Pest with this first build. It didn't seem like he had a plan coming into this first game, which, if so, I'm like shocked because it seemed like he had,
Well, he
everything
chose the
prepared
map.
for this tournament.
If you're wondering why we're doing 600 VPs on this notoriously long game map, guys, Orange Best chose it. Don't blame us. And his plan made sense in the early game. I will dispute that a little bit, Daniel. But yeah, he's not had that great of a follow-up. But then again, second Grant's on its way. Maybe he's building up head of steam.
Nice creep up by Orange Pest here. Matilda's poking at the Jaegers at max range, knocking down models. Verbal and Martyr forced back by the guards. Some good play here by Orange Pest.
Yeah.
Oh, hit on the move off of bias.
Yep.
Really wiped him in one shot.
Royal Engineers taking the central victory point as we speak. Both players are down in the 300s now.
Second Grant out.
It is indeed.
The enemy has a tactical advantage over us.
Almost evened out on VPs. Vergy with 600 manpower. Must be nice.
He's like one of those annoying generation above us, whatever that generation, I don't know if it's millennial or boomer. He's an annoying boomer that has so much saved up that anything that happens in his life is, I'll just use my savings account. Meanwhile, we're struggling to make rents. You know what I mean? It's like,
we are all Orange Best.
Yeah, we're all Orange Best, and Ferrigy's our dad's generation. That's what this is.
What's funny is I think they're both students.
Yeah, I know, but you know, Ferrigy, the analogy holds, Momo. It's fine.
Man, second pack coming out. Really kind of surprised about this. I think you'd think after the first one going down so easily, he'd be more hesitant. But obviously, thinking that's the answer.
Hopefully he doesn't blob him and get wiped by Enable. He's like 2.5 minutes off from another Enable. Ferrigy almost has another Loiter available. He's going to definitely look to make a push before Orange Pest can snowball his tanks together.
Yeah, this endurance-based game one. That's really...
We'll see Orange Pest get armor training too.
I'm with you though, Momo. I'd really like to see the Brumbar at this point. I think the Jaegers have a really hard time contesting mid with the Grants there. And the Brumbar lets you basically do that because it sort of serves the same role as the Matilda in that it does a little bit to tanks, but it does a lot to infantry and it just sits there and soaks.
Orange Pest really just wants to sit on 2 VPs, and it's working. He's had, obviously, 2 victory points for the majority of this game. He's gotten Ferrigy down lower than him, but they are just in a grind now. And let's see what he can do with 2 Grants and a Matilda. It's going to be so tough versus what he's up against. A 95 pop gap there, Matt Army.
Look at the fire rate on the Vet 3 Matilda. Just watch this thing. It's disgusting.
Grant's pushed up north. There's a pack 40 waiting for it, though. Royal Engineers are going to watch it back up. Ferrigy has access to his Loiter, well, and then some yet again. Meanwhile, Orange Pest is 193 munitions on his 225 munition journey for another bombardment.
Dexon calls out no Vet 1 for the packs. I really agree. I think getting officers' quarters with all the resources Ferrigy has, it's a big difference maker, with the, the Vet 1 on the pack.
It's a
lot of pan.
One pack's already Vet 1, the other one's close. Why? Orange Pest is building a Crusader.
Is that a
Wants
Crusader?
something really
Yeah, he's building up a flank then, Momo. So that'll be the guy that goes round the back. He's making an American football team here. That's the receiver. He's got his quarterback. He's got his linebackers. I don't quite know how it works, but something like that.
Anti-tank Loiter. Looks like.
Counter skill planes down for Ferrigy as well. Some masters of the air in the sky right now.
Yeah. Do have dedicated AA. Dedicated AA. Oh no.
Ferrigy not using the AA mode.
One plane goes down, so something must have been working for him in that regard. Meanwhile, Orange Pest in the mayhem. The Maelstrom has somehow been able to get a triple cap. That'll do a bit of a dent to this 600 victory point count.
Harder and will get away with a pixel. Crusader's going to the base. He doesn't have the upgrade though. He needs the upgrade.
Oh, surely the pack. Oh no, he's on the edge. He's on the edge of the cut-off's vision there, guys. Would have just been outside the vision circle of the cut-off, so the pack couldn't fire upon him. I think that may have been a misclick, because that guy is definitely going to be ready for a big push later on. And maybe he's assembling for it. He's got the Grant on the far left. He's got the Matilda infantry and 6-pounder with Minesweeper in the center. Is he preparing for a huge push here, Daniel?
It sure looks like it. I think once we see this Grant repaired, he may want to push in. Although, you know, it wouldn't surprise me if he looks for the opportunity, and if he doesn't see it, he just doesn't go for it. It's a small map. You know, I think if he's got the VP, you know, there's no need to push.
Yeah.
Which is sad to say. I don't want to believe that. I want to say yes, he's definitely going to push, but I'm not convinced that we're going to see that. You know, maybe once he gets Muni for another loiter, he'll look for a push at that point. So maybe we can, you know, whatever that is. Can't do the math now, but
Urgy has to use a vet 1 on his packs. He needs the extra damage. Orange Pass has got armor training as well now, so these things are going to get way more brutal. His Crusader still needs a 6-pounder conversion. It's not going to be as effective.
Flares showing off Orange Pest position. We do have the possible flank coming in from the north. That's Bren's Grant foot guards. The Marder is in the crosshairs. The pack is facing the wrong way. The Brens are spotting for everything aforementioned. Will the Vet 2 Marder go down? No, Grant changes target, but what a shot! Matilda helping out as well. That Vet 3 rapid fire, highly trained Matilda tank. Taking everything out.
Yeah, things kind of falling apart here for Fergie, and not pop caps. So, love to see him tech here. He needs more tools than he has right now.
I fear it's becoming too late now. Orange Pass is snowballing.
Yeah, he is.
His tanks are getting vetted. They're just shredding his infantry.
Is this because... Do you guys feel that Wehrmacht have a hole in their tech structures? If you're not going to go for call-in vehicles, of course, but their tier 4, a lot of people claim is a little bit lackluster, yet no one has any big problem with Brit tier 3 right now, the final tier of the British army. So do you feel that this is Orange Pest's game to lose from... you know, from the standpoint of he gets the bigger and better tanks? Is it as simple as that, guys?
Well, the Grant's really good now, but Fergie kind of started throwing by not going tier 4. He just kind of locked in this tier 2, tier 3 play with skill planes, but he could have utilized the Broom Bear quite well here. Like, that thing is going to tank so much. And it always does deflection damage, so you can plunk away at the tanks. So I think it's just a macro mistake from Fergie.
I do notice DevM, of course, the gameplay design lead and former 3-time world champion player. He likes to go Panzer IV spam. I mean, but that's him, right? But... you know, it seems to me that
skirts.
Yeah, they're not that bad, are they? With the skirts and with Stuka cover and Jaegers helping them out, they're not. They're not going to 1v1 win anything, but they certainly help your army.
Well, yeah. To be fair, Grants are going to beat P4s, but yeah, I mean, you can't at this point. You know, almost a 40-minute game. You needed tier 4. Like again, the Broom Bar is just crazy. It's crazy good. Skirts are going to give more HP. Skirts are going to help your Warbles as well. With how many resources you have, there's no excuse to not just go for the tech building and at least get skirts.
Right.
Yeah.
Fergie does have Stuka Loiter coming. Do you think he's still got a chance, Daniel? What does he have to do?
150 VPs, man. I think he still needs to tech. He's got 191 fuel. He's actually doing it now, so...
He has to lose stuff, so he has 100
We could see the Brumbar. Yeah. Yeah, maybe he'll let one of these piles die, or let one of these Warbles die. But if we can see one of these packs go down, or a unit, if he throws one of the piles, frees the pot for a Brumbar, I think he still has the tools. And he's got more Muni banked, so he'll have first loiter.
Orange Pass literally has a Crusader queued up if anything dies.
It took him a while to overcome the superior preservation style of Fergie. He had a terrible KD for a while. Has it evened out at all, guys, the KD?
It's actually quite even, 120 to 121.
Oh.
2 tanks killed in Orange Pass favor, nothing down.
There you go. So that's the value of tanks. They don't shred manpower, do they? They do the shredding themselves. And that meant all of Fergie's superior manpower economy work all this game long has been mitigated with an armored fist.
You know, we haven't talked about Fergie's mortar quietly racking up a good amount of kills and vet, and I think has been sort of a difference maker on this mid VP. It's allowed him to smoke And I think it's been a big part of why he's been able to retain, mid VP control despite probably having a tech disadvantage.
Yeah. It's the tool of the people that can't control the center. Just use the smoke thrower. Certainly helps. How many kills?
has been quite fortunate that Orange Pest has spent so much time repairing with only 2 engineers while he has 4.
Yeah. How many kills on that Vet 3 Matilda, guys? How's it doing?
49 kills.
Let's celebrate the Matilda's 50 kill anniversary. There we go. Streamers fall from the sky.
Oh, skill
Blank
points
on the
are
top
down.
here from the Crusaders. Really good timing on the Lloydie here because it's going to make this Crusader flank maybe a lot harder
He
to
doesn't
pull off,
care
but
though, Daniel. He's still flanking in the north. He's going for the Marder. Grant's also going in. Orange Pest says, call an ambulance, but not for me.
That's a
Tank
GG
Glitter
push
coming
for
down.
sure.
Oh, and here comes his own skill. His own planes. He's pushing in. He wants the verbal. The Crusade's the only low health tank he's got. Pack 40's facing the right way now, though, but a Grant comes behind it. Was that a game-ending push, Daniel? Has he got this?
Man, I'm going to say almost certainly here. Although he's still got a lot of units on the field. He's still got both Shreks. If he can recruit one of these, keep the one pack up.
What a nuclear shot there, Momo.
Oh my god. That was disgusting. No,
What's
that's
that?
over.
Yeah, I think so.
He's gonna blow up these packs.
And it's
Shreks have no chance.
Yeah, Centaur called in just to have another tank faster. I like that. Yeah, that's gonna end it.
Yes! Centaur ends it. What a win for Orange Pest. He took the best that Ferrigy had to offer, and he still rose above it with superior British armour. Well played. It wasn't finished, but we're not done. Well, now there's a war to be won. We never died, not even once. Welcome to the Resurgence. So what do you make of that then, Daniel?
Man, I thought it was Ferrigy's game to win, and I think just sort of classic play from him in that he was not aggressive enough. I mean, we saw him retreating stuff off the south when he could have capped. He had a massive pop cap lead, massive resource lead, and he was not able to leverage it into a win, which I think is, credit to Orange Pest for staying in it, but felt more like Ferrigy's loss than Orange Pest's win there to me.
What do you reckon, Momo? How do you analyze that?
Yeah, Ferrigy had that game after he held back on the early assaults by Orange Pest. With the extra 100 VPs, gave him an extra time, but he just thought that he could ride out Tier 2 plus Tier 3 the entire game and not go Tier 4, and that ultimately cost him. Orange Pest was bleeding so much, and he didn't really capitalize, playing very defensive with the Warbles. There's an opportunity to make some pushes throughout that match before the Grant started pumping out.
Is it fair to say that Ferrigy seems to have mastered his gameplay style, but not his Company of Heroes strategy? It seems to me like he's very good at playing this talisman, symbiosis from Co1, talisman from Co2 style of manpower preservation, but his strategies, his build orders, his counterplay doesn't seem to be quite at Orange Pest's level. What do you think about that idea, guys?
Yeah, I think it's basically like what we were just talking about. He's very good at sort of the fundamentals of microing his units and keeping them alive, but I think where he struggles is knowing when he can push for the win. Whereas Orange Pest, I mean, we saw it just now. That GG push that he did was perfectly timed with the units that he had and the position that Ferrigy's army was in, and I think that's where Ferrigy struggled this game, and maybe where in general some of his mechanics or sort of his strategic prowess is lacking.
Wow. Okay, looks like we're in for an interesting replay here, guys. I can't say much more than that. Don't want to spoil it for chat. Let me get that downloaded. Let me get it sent over to you guys.
It's too passive. It's way too passive.
It works when it works, but unless you... Like, this passive playstyle, unless you have your strategy and your build order and your adaptability laid out before you, you know, it only goes so far. You need to have a killer strat still. And because you are making the game more strategic. You are slowing the micro down. You're slowing the aggression down. You are making the game about strategy. That's right, isn't it? Because it's less about the micro and the flanking and the killing. So if you're doing that and you're going to get out-strategized, you're not going to win. Simple as that, surely.
I think the problem with Fergie is that his playstyle really works against lesser players. The good players still, but like against someone like Orange Pass, who you know you're fighting for the top spot, you can see in the matches you played versus him and just what he's done in the past is that it doesn't work. So just because the people you're scrimming with, that playstyle works, it's not gonna necessarily carry over to Orange Pass.
Wow. Yeah. And that's true. I think what you're alluding to there, Momo, is I think Fergie's scrim partner has been Havoc, who has a very unique play style. He himself is very good mechanically, but it's not technically reminiscent of tournament winning players like Orange Pest. But then again, Momo, how do you find that kind of practice? You're somebody that's been stuck in tournament mid-tier hell for your whole tournament career. I'm not trying to diss you, but how do you even get practice against the best players, Momo? They won't practice with you, will they? It's hard, isn't it?
Yeah, it is hard. Someone I practiced with in the past would be like Love Nest, but okay, let's be clear. You said Havoc. I did not say that. Okay?
But
you
dude,
just kind of threw that in there. I was not saying that.
You have to remember here, we're talking about this game as though it's a sport. It definitely isn't, but you have to pretend it is, and the players are cattle. You're an animal. Moo. So you get to get talked about that way. But I'm certainly not the best Crockley. I am an Overwatcher. That's all my job.
It's tough. Just at the end of the day, you just have to recognize that some people are just better than you. And, you know, it is what it is. So you have to keep that in mind and also know who you're scrimming with.
Yeah. And all things for chat to remember, by the way, if I say Momo's a tournament mid-tier hell, that means he's like literally one of the best players in the world still. So
I wouldn't say that.
Well, I would on your behalf. You've been, top 50 in the world for a very, very long time. So let's not.
That's offensive.
Okay, top 30 on a good day. Top 50 when you're not trying.
Well rested.
Oh God, this guy. See the players' egos. They're so fine. For him, top 50 and top 30 was a massive difference there.
Here's the thing, though. And I'm not just saying this on my end. For you to be on that level, like Havoc or Orange Pest or Fergie, you have to think that way. You can't be like a softie. You can't think that you're bad or whatever. Yes, you acknowledge that some people are better than you. But that should only give you more motivation in discovering strategies or their weaknesses or what have you.
Sure.
So in this case, I'm going to use your example of him scrimming with Havoc, which it is true, but it wasn't the only person that he's been playing with. You have to know that certain people play a certain way. And you can't apply those scrims one-to-one with the live game. And Orange Pest is someone that you've played against before, and you've beaten him. Let's not forget that. He's beaten him before in a best-of-3. So keeping that in mind, that Orange Pest talks with Dumais, and they're coming up with strats to make sure that Fergie, loses and vice versa. So, there is a lot of that.
You have to. You're not just playing against Orange Pest either. You're also playing against Dumais. Dumais is somebody that can't quite make it happen mechanically. He can't win tournament best-of-3s and best-of-5s, but his mind for Company of Heroes is top tier. He spots strats, he spots things, he spots build orders, and he's got Orange Pest back. So you're also competing against that. I love the schisms and the fractions, Momo. I love all the little politics, the inner workings.
Every time Dumais says he's gonna quit the game, he fucking gets a little buff.
That's the swear jaw. Relic, take 1,000 merit off Momo now. There we go.
I can afford it.
If Dumais could just learn to use hotkeys properly, I think he could win some tournaments.
Oh man, that stuff is so Pepega. But you know
what? Ever see him stop clicking the grenade?
Oh,
I've never seen
even Imperial Dane learned to do that in the last few years. Even Imperial Dane, improved his play to use hotkeys. So Like, definitely. All right, guys.
Kudos to him, man. He's clicking mines and sandbag the actual button. So.
He's
you
faster than me. I don't know how he's doing it. I use the hotkeys. I'm sweating. I'm like clicking. I'm trying to be optimal. Dumais somehow out macros me. Just clicking like an old man.
Yeah, he's 10 steps ahead of you as well. He's probably close to Relic servers or something. All right, then, guys. We're not even going to roll the music this time. We are just going to go straight into the game. The score is wow. The score is of course Orange Pest is 1-0 up, which is it's not unexpected, but it's the way in which he did it. I thought he was quite dominant there. Just trying to buy time for me to do. Okay, I'll have to roll the stinger. Here we go. It wasn't finished, but we're not done. Well, now there's a war to be won. We never died, not even once. Welcome to the Resurgence.
There is it. Okay, got it.
Just put it in my files. I'm loading it now.
Okay, AE may or may not have forgotten to send his expert professional casting team the replay, but they are definitely getting the replay now, guys. I can confirm.
I'm ready.
I can confirm.
Loading screen. Loading screen.
It's exciting. It's exciting. This drama. I'm glad we're including chat. We're including everybody to be part of this drama. AE was too busy trying to insult Momo to actually do things professionally, and yet now here we are. Here we are. Okay.
I'm just amazed I've avoided any shade. I'm sure I'll catch some before
It just
the,
means
the
you.
day is
Yeah.
out here.
Nothing even needs to be said about you, Daniel.
There's
We already
nothing
know.
to
There it
say.
is.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I can
There
give
it
you a
is.
game.
You're being carried by Banjo. Everyone knows it.
Yeah. Okay, guys.
My stream
3,
views are being carried.
2, 1, play. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, you're going to have to do a micro pause. I had a problem with my keyboard there. I'm at 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Are you
Got
with
it.
me?
With
I'm a
you.
second behind.
Oh!
That's okay.
That'll do, because we are a weasel by name and also a weasel by nature. Fergie is the United States Forces. And what do we see before us from Orange Pest there, Daniel?
We see Dak, which really comes as no surprise. He's got the double cred already queued up, and we saw this yesterday. Excited to see if the Weasel does more. You know, I think definitely Fergie wasn't ready for this yesterday, it felt like, especially on game 3, but he's got a new strat prepared for it, so I'm really excited to see if he can Weasel his way into this one.
Ah, I love it. Momo, how's the Weasel going to do against these DAC vehicles?
Well, hold up. First of all, is somebody called Pax, or is he still sleeping? Second of all, he's already paid his engineer tax. Look at this.
Yes, he's been doing that all tournament. Engineer first from Fergie. He doesn't wait around.
The
to
Weasel,
see it,
now to your
Valiant.
question, the Weasel does do more damage than the Jeep and has a self-repair. At Vet 0, it is quite slow. But the next most important thing is that it can drop team weapons. And 30 cals are not bad against dealing with light armor. But I just don't know. This is like a very risky strat against Dak. I'm a little concerned for Fergie. His capping power is quite slow against these two bikes. 250s out for Orange Pest 2. It's going to be very aggressive very soon.
Yeah, this
Fergie
is...
being careful. He looked at how he's approaching the map. You know, he's like moving the Scout and the Weasel together really slowly, sitting behind green cover as much as he can. I think just really afraid, you know, trying to minimize losses, which is the right play, but I'm worried about his fuel income here.
Yeah, it's not looking too pretty so far. His new idea to counter this strat that counted him yesterday on Faymanville in the upper bracket best of 3 final is to go Weasel and to play compactly. Do not let yourself get overwhelmed, but that is going to cede a lot of map control to Mr. Pest.
Yeah, his crouch shooting's capped up almost the entire left side of the map, taking his +5.
Got it connected too, so really playing for that. I think we're going to see the same thing. You know, Assault Grand straight into 8 rads probably, and if he can continue to harass these fuels and keep them for himself, I think we'll see it come out really fast.
Yeah, and SSF aren't going to do anything versus crack rads, unfortunately. Fergie's going to need some early wins. He's going to have to somehow stop the pressure, and look at this, the Assault Grands are already almost out on the field. They're going to destroy Riflemen, especially with the combined arms.
Going straight through the center. They're making a beeline. The Kradschutzen waiting to cap. The Weasels tried to recap a lot of the left. Meanwhile, the other Kradschutzen BMW sidecar motorbike is just reversing away. That's right. Apparently, they could reverse as fast as they could drive. I'd love to see that in real life. Bit skeptical, let's say. I don't
even check the mirror.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. They don't even look backwards. They just go backwards. That's dangerous. They've not passed.
They're running out of manpower and getting little kids to drive the bike.
Right then, Weasel is chilling. Havoc is Orange Pest on cruise control now. Has he got this DAC strat that he unleashed on us yesterday? And is he about to go for a Blitzkrieg style win?
Yeah, he's pushing towards the cutoff now.
He's building a third Rifleman, no snares. That's the problem, is he's got a Flamear's engineer, but you need AT grenades to stop this clown car. The Weasel's trying to kill off a Kradschutzen, but it's just too fast for it. It's just never going to chase it down and kill it.
Yeah, it certainly is. And here comes the cutoff. Daniel, put yourself in Fergie's shoes. What do you do next?
You bring this Weasel over here now and fight this, because you can't be cut off, or you'll never get the AT out in time to stop the 8 rad. So I think you bite the bullet here and stop playing so passive and like go for this fight, which it looks like he's doing now.
Yeah, you have to fight. You have to fight. You cannot let this cutoff be taken for good. We've got the Assault Grens coming in. We've got an extra Kradschutzen helping out. There's 2 of them, and they're winning. And Fergie is hightailing it out of there. Hard retreating back to base. Oh no, game 2 is not looking like a good one for the Hungarian.
It's like Momo said, you have to have nades against this. You know, once you see the 250 and the double crad, it's like if you don't have grenades, the 250 can just drive up, and you know the Assault Grens can run in. This is looking like GG here.
Yeah.
Yeah, Assault Grens are super oppressive with combined arms out. I don't care what anyone says. They're very strong. They're just hiding there.
Yeah.
They got healed up. They didn't take any model losses. They're going to heal to full from the half track.
Yeah, they're strong when you see them used properly, aren't they? I mean, a lot of the things I notice, we don't say OP or underpowered in a Grand Finals cast, because not everybody does what Orange Pest is doing right now, Momo. You know, you still have to execute it properly. You still have to time it properly. You can't just ooga boogie your way to $2,000. Although he is literally doing that.
It seems to be working, so.
That's going to be a chat command on Elpern's chat. You can't simply ooga boogie your way to $2,000. That's Orange Pest new merch, by the way, coming 2024 this summer.
He's literally doing it in real time. The crack rad's about to hit the field, and it's lights out. He's got 8 fuel income. Did he even get nades? No, he can't even afford nades. He spent into motor pool. It's over.
Yeah. How many? What's the KD, guys? How many models has Fergie lost?
1 to 11.
Oh, who's the German that died? Is it this one Assault Grenadier? It died.
I believe so, yeah.
Oh my god.
Shameful. Messed up OP's perfect KO.
And if he won with a perfect game, that would be awesome. The one thing about 600 VP, guys, is it's meant to give a little bit more comeback potential to make these Grand Finals even more epic. But when you've got a killing blow like this, it's very unlikely. We've got a CoH1 style resource system in CoH3, meaning Orange Pest is on plus 33 fuel, plus 52 munitions. And Fergie's on plus 3 fuel. That's the base fuel.
Man, I know Fergie can play better than this. We saw him, on the cutoff fight, put a unit in the house in front of the Flamer. Seems like maybe pressure getting the better of him, or Orange Pest's pressure getting the better of him, but I'm surprised at the play we saw in this early game. It's a hard strategy to beat, but I don't think Fergie really, microed those fights the way he should have.
No. sadly
I
not.
thought the reason he paid the engineer tax right away is to put mines down. That was the
Yes.
shocker to me. You know, like
Yes.
the mines for the 250 or to get, cheeky kills on the crouch shoots in. But no, he didn't even do that.
Yeah, you bang on, Momo. That's what he was doing with it, and that's why it plays so well into his playstyle to get the engineer early. But he has not even been given time to do that. I don't think we should concentrate so much on Fergie playing badly as much as Orange Pest is a master strategist, and he's been fully motivated for this event. He was asking me, knowing that something was possibly coming, how much time do I need to take off work? Do I need to take 2 months off? And I was like, no? It's not for really me to say that. I mean, I can't tell anybody what the prize pool is yet. Maybe just wait for the announcement first.
Jeez, I wish I could just take off 2 months from work. That EU life.
Yeah, well, yeah. 8 rads letting these M1s take a lot of life off work because they're never going to be needed ever again. And that is what
wrap.
you call total annihilation.
Yeah.
Not the...
It's just our destroy Fergie.
Yeah, to quote Ray. Ouch. Ouch.
That got old.
Yeah, this is a US Army circa 21st century KD. This is like one guy died, it makes the news. Meanwhile, 1,000 insurgents. It's not good, man. That is so unfortunate for Fergie. Points held. Oh no.
People got to remember, there's no guarantee we have, non-stop game ones like that. You can easily get crushed at this level, no matter who you are. So
Yeah.
you gotta be on top of your game.
You really have. And that game, unfortunately for Fergie, does not warrant the tournament theme music. It doesn't, sadly. With just a somber note, we just now have to ask ourselves, what's Fergie made of? He was looking like an unstoppable monster this time last month in the training period for this event. He was looking really good, wasn't he, Daniel?
Yeah, I mean, he's beaten Orange Pest in a couple of best of threes and best of fives recently, and looked very, very stable. And I think I saw Havoc saying in chat that he just has been shaky this weekend, and I think we're seeing that. I think Fergie has somehow lost his mojo. And I really hope we see him get it back. I mean, he's picked 2 weak BGs, right? I hope that this is him picking the weakest BGs, hoping that he can use the stronger ones later in the series. But if that's his gamble, it's not paying off so far.
I don't think you can play like that in a final. What you just described, that's a losing strat. You get your weak BGs out of the way. What does that even mean? Just like you're gonna throw it away and hope to come back.
Yeah.
Can't do that. at this
No,
level.
he's just trying to, think what's been going through Fergie's mind. But Fergie is a very strong tactical player, and trying to save a really good battle group like Coastal Reserves for later on in the best of 5 does make sense. I mean, it was going to be was going to be Pacino game 3. Well, it is going to be Pacino 3 and 4. So let's see how he does with that. I think he's back on Axis now, so maybe he can make that work. You guys have the replay, I take it?
We do.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's go on a small break. Just go get a quick drink, and then we'll be right back with you guys. Don't go anywhere. Can Fergie make an audacious comeback? Can he get back into this series? We're going to find out after this commercial break with no advertisements, hopefully. wasn't finished, but we're not done. Ready now, there's a war to be won. Never died, not even once. Welcome to the Resurgence. Welcome to the final dance. We're done sitting on the fence. Now here's my 2 cents. We're gonna need some resurgence. And 3, 2, 1. We are live in Game 3. And Orange Pest is now playing allies. He's 2-0 up, and Ferrigy is asking himself a whole slew of questions. Does he have what it takes to come back? Being the main one, we're all thinking in our heads as well. Momo, Daniel, well, does he?
I think
he does.
He has it. Will he use it? I think is what remains to be seen this game.
Just copy whatever Orange Pest just did as Dak. On Pacino, Assault Grens are even better here. And just execute well, you know, we can avoid the 3-0 sweep.
I tell you what, that takes some balls to be... Lower your ego that much to just say, I doff my cap to you, sir. Thank you for showing me the meta. I'm going to do my best imitation of it right now. That's really brave in a way of Ferrigy. It's modest, and to do that in the middle of a grand final, to say, okay, I like your build order, let me have a go. I'm 2-0 down, let's see what happens.
I'm really curious if he's practiced this at all, or if he really is just sort of seat of the pants saying, I guess this is the meta now.
To be fair, I don't know if it's Orange Pest that actually came up with this double bike thing into Assault Grens, but obviously he just got pummeled by it, so the mental point is still there for sure.
Yeah, but Momo, even if somebody gives you the idea, if your CEO of your company says it's his idea and shows off to the big expo, the big presentation says it's his idea. It's his idea. Orange Pest has unveiled this strat in a grand final, or, well, actually the upper bracket final of yesterday. So, it's now Orange Pest's. Doesn't matter if you thought of it, Momo, or Daniel thought of it. I definitely didn't.
Depends on what it is, but that's okay. I got your point.
Yeah, you got
I think
my
it was.
point.
I think it might have been Jibber actually, just to try to give credit. I feel like he was the first person trying this on the ladder, this double bike thing.
Wow, there we go.
Or Treads.
Oh yeah, could be.
Treads was
Assault
decent.
engineer spam though.
Treads was decent in that 4v4 we watched earlier in this event. He's not a bad player by any stretch of the imagination. I enjoyed his work. But I'm enjoying Orange Pest's work here. Wow, there's Orange Pest's army for you guys. It's 4 Assault Engineers. Now, we're definitely on a new patch, aren't we?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
this
Assault
is
engineers have always
honestly.
been good.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is what I would do. This if I knew I was going up against a double bike into Assault Grins, I think this is on this map in particular, this is the safest thing to do. I'm really hoping we see mechanized in the fast quad, and I think that's what we're gonna see here. This is it. This is the sauce to deal with the Assault Grins.
Check out that mine near the bridgehead as well. That's a good one, because Kradschutz often sneak around there to go and cap the +10 fuel. So, of course, we have to see a different battle group every single game from these players. This battle group Terminator Orange Pest, as we know, has got armoured, but it's not veteran crews, which is the big surprise. Definitely would have seen that pretty much every time last patch. Ferrigy, meanwhile, he's, of course, going to go for armoured support, mostly for superior fire drills when he gets there.
Yeah, we're already seeing, look at the map control compared to last game. Orange Pest with a pretty commanding lead here, although these Assault Grins coming out should change the tide in mid.
Yeah, let's see if they
Not
can...
for long though. Mechanized support center with a quad in production.
Oh.
Not even 4 minutes.
Oh, and also, I mean, another thing about Assault Engies, if they just soft retreat behind the garrison, there's a whole new close quarter combat engagement you have to win against them. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of cover for them to retreat behind as well. So you don't lose as much map pressure if you've got these submachine gun based units on such a built-up map like this.
Yeah, they're hard to deal with. This is I almost lost a game to Red Wings on this map. I'd never seen this strategy before. And when the quad came out, I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna lose. I didn't. It worked out okay, but this is, yeah.
I'm glad it worked out okay, Daniel. Thank you. Daniel D never loses, and even when he loses, he doesn't lose.
I think anyone who's watched my stream knows that's not true.
Quad having some fun in the center. It's already taken out a 250. Ferrogy's imitation of Orange Pest's build order that apparently isn't actually his. Momo's been very adamant about that. It's now going to have Panzerjägers added to it. It's basically the spine of the DAC this patch, isn't it? The newly buffed Panzerjägers with the aim down sights time. So fast, aren't they, to fire?
Yeah, it feels like Fergie just definitely did not practice this strat. He was just floating 600 manpower before he started building these Panzerjägers, and they're out of the same building as the Assault Grenadiers, so there was no reason to float that much. He could still get by another Assault Gren, or look at this tank traps being blocking the north side.
That's epic!
Underutilized option in the game. No sarcasm.
That's epic, bro. Because the big problem with Bashino Stalemate, I don't know if you guys know this, but it actually funnels from north to south. If you spin your camera like an elite mega gamer that I am, you would know that to be true. And if you can make that funnel even tighter, make it even harder to get from north to south, wow. You're really going to block your opponent off, and that's what Orange Pest is doing here. By the way, Havoc in chat started rotating his cam. Welcome to the club. Welcome.
Stop making it spread. I know it's optimal, but I really hate looking at it. So wish people would stop doing that. At least the streamers.
Yeah.
It just makes me confused about where I'm on the map. I don't like it. It makes me
I think we should all agree, although it's like a 2% buff, it's just confusing for everybody, so we should all agree to stop it. Is that what you're suggesting?
Yes, thank you. It's probably even bigger than a 2% buff, but I don't care.
Depends on the map. If you're playing north on a north-south map, it's like ridiculously strong, but a lot of maps it doesn't really matter that much.
Fergie's not dead yet, though. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. He's got second Assault Grenadiers out. He used the 6-minute call-in. He's putting down Mechanized Company. He's only second Panzerjäger coming out, and those things are going to... 2 of them are going to blow up the half-tracks in one volley. And he's only a minute away from an 8-rad.
Yeah, but...
And it is true that this strategy of Orange Pest relies on, having a pretty dominant early into mid-game, I think, because the Assault Engineers obviously don't scale like rifles, so... usually I think you favor the U.S. player scaling in a long match, but when you don't go rifles, I think that kind of switches.
I have to ask you one question, though, Orange Pest. I mean, not Orange Pest. I have to Momo about Fergie. I mean, you are very right to say let's not count him out yet, but how is he going to clear these mines? I know there's only 2, but they're in decent positions, both on these channels, and look at that, the 250s heading straight for one. Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
Yeah, no, that was my next point. He needs to get sweepers. Lucky for him, it's not enough to one-shot the 250, so the Assault Grenadiers are still going to be in the fight and still get that combined arms bonus. Oh,
the mine was triggered by Fergie, and Orange Pest nearly lost an Assault Engie because of it. Probably the one that planted it in the first place. That's a nice pickup for the Hungarian.
He only has to sweep one more with his face, and then he's done it. Done what we talked about. I think he's gonna do it right now. Oh, it might be brutal though. He might hit it with both squads.
Oh, didn't quite do that, but yeah, that's gonna necessitate a full retreat of those guys. 8-rad under construction. Daniel, maybe Momo's right. Maybe Fergie isn't out of this quite yet.
No, I mean Orange Pest is in a great position, but you have to win here with the Assault Engineers. If the game, like I was saying, if the game continues, Fergie's position just gets better and better. And he's capping, he's got the plus 16 top. He's decapping the other one. I think, I don't think he's out of it yet.
You can't forget, he still has the 2 bikes able to harass on the sides while the fights are going on in the middle. And once the bikes hit Vet 1, as long as he's microing them, they're gonna one-on-one. They're gonna 1v1 Assault Engineers.
Wow.
So there's that going for him. His 8-rad is out. He has a KD lead, 14 kills to 8. So it's not like Orange Pest is crushing him. What Orange Pest has is the resource lead. He's already got tank depot in construction. He's gonna have like 70, 80 fuel by the time it's done
Oh no!
building.
And he's gone for that recovery vehicle again, something that he busted out in the last tournament we saw against Fergie.
Yeah, and by going the recovery vehicle, he's gonna be able to fast track to War Machine. They're gonna be very cheap bulldozers and Hellcats. MSC, I mean, he's fine on repairs, but MSC is going to let him get the improvised armor, which is going to make them even more effective against Panzerjägers. So this is gonna be tough. He's gonna need to make a lot of headwind while Orange Pest is banking up for his bulldozer.
Yep, 8rad's going in for the half track. He needs to pick this up. This is a big moment for Fergie, but there's those Zook men zooking away, forcing it back to DAC lines. Interestingly, by the way, Orange Pest relayed a mine in the center where a mine previously existed. He is out-mining the mine spammer in a way, isn't he, Daniel?
Yeah, Fergie hasn't done a great job with mines really this whole series. It's harder with DAC, definitely. We see the second Panzerprow come in with one pilot. It has a lot of work to do, especially if it's your flamer. So it's a little harder to get the mines in when you've got 4 engineers. But I think throughout the series, Orange Pest has done a better job with mines.
Yeah, and that's a massive advancement in their personal rivalry because it was mines that was making Fergie such a difficult player for Orange Pest to deal with, and why Fergie was getting so many wins. Now Orange Pest is the one winning the mine meta.
I'm going to make a bold prediction here and say that for the psychological impact, the disrespect, I think we're going to see a regular Sherman from Orange Pest here in a little bit.
Oh, that would be interesting. I mean, they're not...
He does have access to 76 mil, but you can't forget the new changes with the Easy 8. He could just get 3 more CP and then just build Easy 8s.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, he's got the bulldozer coming in. He's keeping it trad for now. Why not? Wow. Double bazooka Sherman bulldozer Momo. That's a little bit off meta, would you say?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. It's not very on meta. I think it's appropriate for this map though.
Yeah, you have to play the map in Company Heroes. This is an urban map, and it requires different solutions. Do not play the same cookie-cutter, open map, support weapon-led build orders when you're on Bashino, ladies and gents. And that's why I like to see it in tournaments. It does offer something a little bit different, puzzle for the players to unlock.
Scout Squad died a little earlier, meeting its predetermined fate every game.
Part of the build at this point.
Eventually, yeah, succumbing to the change in winds.
Yeah, Captain does that. And the bulldozer's taking out a bike, possibly. Just pushes straight into base. Why not? Let's have a look what you've got. You've got the mortar. Okay, fair enough. I'll come back later. Two Panzerjägers, but the bulldozer is tanky, pun intended. Oh, it's got an 8rad coming in as well. That was a big penetration. Panzerjägers there as well. The bulldozer will survive, but it was close.
Yeah, some good damage on it.
Yeah, it would feel like a bigger win, except, yeah, exactly. It's going to get repaired pretty quick here.
Oh,
let's not forget.
Assault Gren's dying in the west, it seems. That's a difficult retreat path. No, he's on the move. He won't get the accuracy buff, and he had to evade the mortars and 8rad, so couldn't stick it out.
Got an OP on the fuel from OP wanting to get the shirt. I mean, I think it makes perfect sense. There's no way we're going to see this go down anytime soon, and he's got the manpower. He just needs more fuel for the vehicles.
Yeah.
Once these bazookas hit that one, they're going to start getting really annoying.
Oh, you don't like getting white phosphorus, Momo?
No, not particularly, especially with every unit having phosphorus in this game, it seems.
There's a lot of phosphorus, isn't there?
Yeah, you can't be this far behind his DAC this early. This is scary territory. He's holding on to these bikes, which are really saving him right now with counter harassing again on the sides. They have self-repair, so you don't really have to dedicate any squads too often to repair them.
Yeah, that's the great thing about keeping your ultralights alive, and a lot of people like to, you know, throw shade at CoH3 for some of the things it's not done that well in its first year, but the ultralights being a feature of Company Heroes again has been a real nice turn of pace, in my opinion.
Yeah, I love watching people use the bikes effectively. Not against me, but you know, if I'm not playing, it's fun to watch.
Yeah, for certain. Bulldozer is trying to hold the center. Ferrigy's making some plays here, mostly because a lot of Orange Pest units were repairing and reinforcing.
Did you guys catch that? The Martyr bounced on the dozer just a moment ago because Orange Pest bought improvised armor.
Ooh,
He
nice.
just walks in the Easy 8.
It's got no tell, has it? On the normal Shermans, they get cope cages, don't they?
No, they don't get cages.
Do
it's
they
just
not? Did I imagine that? I imagined it.
Yeah.
I thought they got extra sandbags or something. I thought there was a visual indicator of the improvised armor on the Shermans. But
There could be, but there's definitely no
Yeah.
cages.
Yeah. I imagined the cages, but they definitely get something. Okay, my fever dream was half true. That's good. That's good.
330 manpower Easy 8 about to be built with fast deploy.
Oh, let's go. And we've got another mortar coming out from Ferrigy. He's going to need it because this Easy 8 is not going to be appreciated by Ferrigy's army.
No,
Problem
not
here
with
is
an
it's so
11-second deploy time.
Yeah, and it's so hard to use the Martyrs here. Like, it's fine if you're playing really far back and just defending, but if you want to like fight for the middle, you've got to move the Martyrs up to a position where they're easily flanked by the Zook squad or another tank, and
Yeah.
it's a very uncomfortable map for the Martyrs.
It really is. It really is. It goes back to my point earlier of the funnel, the bottleneck. You're at the narrow end at the north side. Do you know what Charlotte actually does? She often tries to destroy that garrison at the part of that bottleneck there. Try and flatten it. And
Yeah, it can be a good move.
yeah.
Comes some Bazooka squad down. Massive push by Orange Pest here.
Huge. Here comes the Easy 8. One more shot. There has been smoke utilized. It's changing its target to be the other Marder. There's the Bulldozer as well. We've got half-track backing it up. Bulldozer's relinquished its position as the Bazookas push on. That was a nice push. No major losses, but the pressure applied is pretty heavy.
Yeah, Zook going down's a big deal on the +5 fuel. You know, if he can get a unit over there to pick it up, he needs all the AT he can get. I don't know how much efficacy we're gonna get, you know, in terms of Zook versus improvised armor, but definitely a nice pickup.
That smoke was clutch in saving the Martyr. It's very, very clutch.
Yeah, so let's have a look at the tail of the tape. They've got 68 pop cap for Orange Pest. We've got the Bulldozer, the half-track, the Easy 8. He's got 4 of his original engineers. Bazooka Squad, he lost 1, of course. He's got an MG in the church now. Meanwhile, Ferrigy's army is actually larger. 89 pop cap, and the only problem Daniel and Momo have with it is how do you use Marders on a map like this?
You gotta blow up all the garrisons. And hope
Yeah.
that they become... that you can shoot through that area.
Yeah.
Took forever for Orange Pest, but he finally got a mortar pit up. Quite an annoying emplacement on this map. Can be very safely put down in your backlines and can target a huge section of the map.
I think it's easier to say which parts of the map it can't target. It's like such a large section, especially at Vet 3.
Yeah. Like right now it can barrage passes plus 10 fuel.
Oh my gosh. Right, okay.
I think the only way Ferrigy comes into this game is if he gets a massive skill plane martyr push. It's the only way.
Yeah, and to get the Marders in there, it's going to be just tough logistically, as we've already said. Oh, bike gets out
He needs
of
to convert at least one of these. I like to see combat half tracks and some mortar conversions. He's still a fair way off from the loiter, and he's got 285 muni. Mortar half track would let him push this MG off. It would let him apply pressure to the engineers that are sitting around repairing. I think it would be a big help.
Dude, yeah, he's got both 250s in base right now, just, of course, distributing medical supplies. But that's such a good shout. Does he have the resources for it? I'd say so. Again, he's floating. Again.
He's nearly pop cap. Let's not forget, he's at 89 pop. So this next thing that he purchases has got to be very thoughtful.
Oh, nice pick up
assault
there
engineers.
for the 8-Rad, taking them out, getting to Veteran C2. What's the KD looking like, Daniel?
It is 43 to 18 actually in Ferrigy's favor, which honestly it doesn't. This build you don't lose a lot of stuff because a lot of it's the bikes fighting and the 250 fighting, so it's looking good for him, and I think that's part of why we're seeing him have the manpower flow he does. I just hope he finds some upgrades with something.
Orange Pest Army's getting to Maximus point. I don't know why I said Maximus. Getting to its pop cap now. He's got 2 easy 8s. He's got the 3 engineers, one of which has a minesweeper, don't forget. He's got another MG now, just looking to clamp down on Ferrigy, it seems. Worth an all-in push, Momo?
I don't know. He doesn't know that Ferrigy or Orange Pest just got his second easy 8. He doesn't have self-repair. He only has a smoke upgrade. No skill planes available yet. He needs another 2 CP. Oh, these easy 8s are just creeping up on the left.
Yeah, and he's
Looks like he's gonna lose
minesweeping
the
as
bike
well.
too.
He's minesweeping. Bike gets away yet again. I mean, keeping the bikes alive. Oh, look at that mine as well. Mortar's tried to get into the center. They hit a mine immediately.
Yeah, using the martyrs to clear the house. This is like such a desperation to put them in that vulnerable position just to clear this MG.
Look at the bazooka. Sprinting into action, taking out one of the mortars with ease.
An MG just casually gets out of the house. No harm done.
Yep. Can do that. Don't know why Ferrigy thought he had to try and take it out with mortars. Meanwhile, Easy 8 starting to push in. Starting to push through the center as well. We got a bulldozer coming in the east. He's triangulating. He's converging on what remains of Ferrigy's hope in this tournament. Can he finish the job?
Looks like he's about to clinch it too. The Sooks are screening. The easy 8s are plinking away. Again, Ferrigy does not have emergency self-repair, so his units are going to have to be utilized for repairs. Barely squeaks away. What the heck? The 8-Rad has 0 HP.
Zero! That's a 0 HP 8-Rad, everybody. It's a zombie 8-Rad. Wow.
Scam.
I can't
The
show the
walking
UI because
8-Rad.
that gives away the game length, but I'll just take your word for it, remember. Can you screenshot the HP for us, put it in the Discord?
Sure thing.
Oh my god, I've never seen that. I do know that Co rounds numbers sometimes, but I thought HP was just
Round
HP.
down?
Must be a 0.1.
500 manpower, no self-rep. Could get another martyr. I think he's kind of given up. I don't know.
I mean, he was doing this
it
in
is a
game
lot
1
of units
too.
to micro.
Yeah. Well, there's no excuse to not try and make something of it, I guess. He's got 500 manpower ready for replacements. He's got a lot of fuel as well. And he's starting to get a little bit more aggressive. Here comes the Hellcat! Oh, wow, look at the speed on that bad boy. Getting straight round the back of the mortar. Ah, and there's the Easy 8 as well. Oh, this is game. It's a pain train. Orange Pest is going to pull it in. We may have the skill planes of Ferrigy, but there's nothing that can stop this armored cavalcade. $2,000 for the Swede. He trained hard. He planned. He schemed. And he executed it to perfection. It looks like a 3-0 incoming save for a stroke of luck from the gods for Ferrigy. Oh no, the bike! The bike, Daniel! Moral
Be a
victory.
moral victory here.
30 cal.
Moral victory! The bike's still alive!
It's got to go through mid now.
Yeah, we got 2 somehow surviving. How does he get out of there? The sharks are
He's
coming,
not-
Momo! Oh no! Quick! Slash L! Oh, damn it! I would have slashed L there.
Orange Pest took no losses there, besides the 30 cal dying to the bike, but that's just gonna get recrewed. The Hellcat gets away with 70 HP. Even the half track got away. Now it's shooting at the planes. Getting some valuable veterancy.
You got Morders building for Fergie. He's still got those Panzerjägers, don't forget. He's still got a Marder trying to push, but Orange Pest's forces are so strong here, and he's got the M31 now as well, so he can repair it on the fly in the middle of the battlefield, well covered by all the garrisons. Oh dear, oh dear.
I thought Fergie was gonna go coastals here. Like after being down 2-0, yeah, it could be better on Semwa, but like you're about to lose, dude. Just take a win.
Yeah, he doesn't play much of the Africa factions. I feel like I checked out his player card the other day, and it's like clear that he favors, you know, Western Front armies. But so really surprised to see the DAC here.
Yeah, I think that it's fair to say that Fergie is possibly guilty of not adapting to the new patch as much as he could have done. He was playing the last patch's build orders when he was looking like the best player in the world with his coastals and his armored USF, of course. But yeah, maybe the meta evolution passed him by. Maybe he did not hashtag adapt as well as he could have done. I'm sure he's going to have his own thoughts. Maybe we should ask him.
Yeah. Not a bad idea.
Oh, there we
Not
go.
more martyrs here.
Yeah, pushing and taking it out.
Playing with his food now.
Oh, he is. And although he loses a tank, I mean,
Moral victory.
yeah. Hellcats swagger away. Sherman gets the kill. Oh, no.
I mean, this illustrates the difference between the players, right? Orange Pest with the commanding lead is still going for finishing blows, still looking to take stuff out. And I think that's the kind of stuff that won him the series.
Yeah, Fergie fought well there, but he's forced to tap out. But the bigger news is Orange Pest is now the de facto world champion of Company of Heroes 3. He's won the biggest tournament this year. And he takes home $2,000. He prepared well. He fought strong. And he brought some off-meta plays. Well, they might become meta now for all we know. So well played to the big Swede. And commiserations to the valiant Hungarian who was number 1 seed in this tournament for very good reason. He played well throughout. So GG, well played both. That was the Resurgence Cup. It wasn't finished, but we're not done. Well, now there's a war to be won. We never died, not even once. Welcome to the Resurgence. And there we go. Although it's a 3-0 grand final, I urge you to go and check out some of the series we've had in this event. It's been really fantastic, hasn't it, guys?
Yeah.
Yep.
Some of the lower bracket games were great. I thought the 4v4 series was fun. I thought a lot of the 2v2 games were great.
You know, before we go, you really need to tell us who thought of the format. You know, I asked you before, but...
Oh, no. I would reach through the screen and strangle you. It was my unborn son, William. He thought of it in a fever dream. He came to me and said, Father! It's like, no, what is it, William? You need to do one more tournament. No, I've retired. I've retired for good. What about if you did a mixed tournament? Team games and 1v1, and that's what we've got. To be honest, this is just a random stroke of luck. Sometimes you have a good idea, and in this case, it was whatever the hell this was. This hybrid first of its kind in esports history, 1v1 Team Game Cup. Although we ended up with the same number 1 and 2 seeds in the grand final as we could all have expected, I think some of the narratives we had were really interesting, especially in the 2v2 side, Daniel, weren't they?
Yeah, I mean, I loved seeing Ruby get as far as he did. I don't think anyone would have predicted that. I think the lower bracket allows for some really exciting stuff to happen. I also I really love seeing 1v1 players, uncomfortably try to navigate team games and discover that, oh, it's not the same thing. I can't just cap the map.
Yeah, definitely. And big shout out to the surprise packages of the whole lower bracket, Hulk Smash and Ruby. They take home, respectively, $250 and $125, something like that. 1, 2. Oh no, Ruby gets third place price. That's $450, and Hulk Smash, gets $250. Wow, that's doing well. They did well to win all those team games. They secured a good bag for themselves there. That's not too bad.
I don't know. Well worth waking up really early.
Yeah.
I'm sure this won't be the last we see of you. Shout out to Relic for sponsoring the tournament. Shout out to AE for running it, because nobody else is gonna do it.
Sadly not. I keep trying to retire. But I do have a kid coming, so maybe that could be the end of it. But we'll see. Anyway, guys, it's been absolutely tremendous. Big thanks to Momo for show and Daniel D for casting today. Let's have a look if I've got any things there. I do have Momo as a thing. Sadly, I don't have you, Daniel. I think it's Daniel _
Twitch.tv/banjo.
Yeah, there you go. There's Daniel D's Twitch. Go follow them up, guys. Please do. We had some other great casters this tournament. We had Imperial Dane, Tightrope, Havoc, Demare. I think that's it. I've probably forgotten somebody.
Imperial Dane.
I said him. I said Dane.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we had them. So, yep. Dexen's probably right. If there was another tournament, I would prefer 2v2. I'd like to see that. I think we've now established that Orange Best is the best 1v1 CoH3 player in the world, so congratulations to him. But it would be nice to have a 2v2 event for certain. Speaking of Orange Best, we are going to go over to an interview with him next. I just want to say to Momo and Daniel, any shout-outs before we get rid of you?
Just come check out the Twitch takeover tomorrow. We're playing some games.
Oh, yeah. Momo's going to be
again.
taking over the twitch.tv/Company of Heroes Twitch channel tomorrow, doing his 3 hours of fun. Daniel, any shout-outs?
Yeah, shout out to all the fine folks I recognize from my channel asking for the banjo cam. We'll get that soon. Maybe later today, definitely tomorrow. So nice to see everybody.
Banjo is not him playing the banjo, either figuratively or metaphorically. It is his dog, by the way, just to clear it up. All right, thanks, guys. I'll see you later. Let's go get Mr. Pest. Thank you. Okay, that was unceremonious. We kind of got rid of them very quickly there. How are you doing, Orange Pest? You okay, son?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Good, man. You're back on top. You didn't stay away for too long. How does it feel?
Feels pretty good. I feel like I de-rusted enough to be back at like a good form.
Yeah.
Still not optimal, but still pretty good.
How does it feel to, basically conquer Ferrigy, who was looking like a really strong player on the last patch for you personally to beat with that coastal and the armored build? How does it feel to conquer him with strats, TM? How does that feel?
Well, it was fun, mainly because it was me and Napoleon and a couple of other my sprint partners, just letting me get a feel for things, and just sitting there and labbing stuff is really fun to me. Like I enjoy the process of like thinking up new strategies and fucking around in cheat mod.
Yeah, so big shout out to Jan252 for giving us that functionality, and Demare for helping you theory craft. So some of these theories, did you have to keep them in the back pocket? Did you have to kind of conceal what were you thinking of doing for this tournament?
I was concealing parts of it. The reason I wasn't deploying these strategies earlier was because I was facing a lot of weaker opponents where I didn't have to, I wasn't feeling desperate to win.
Yep.
So I could just do some normal stuff, play standard and win. But it's also the fact that like the hotfix came out literally one day before the tournament.
Yeah.
And so I didn't want to risk like practicing something I was going to be unfamiliar with compared to just running coastals and playing US.
So that meant you were able to conceal it for two good reasons there. Now, Ferrigy played you a big compliment in the middle of that series. He went DAC on Pacino. Is there anything you'd like to say about what he did maybe wrong during that best of 5 strategically?
I consider it a best of 7 because we played the series prior.
True.
He doesn't change what he does,
Hmm.
ever. He reminded me of the one CoH3 player, Quaritz, because they play around Vision and they play very slow and campy. But like, if you aren't adapting or you aren't like improvising strategically, you're just doubling down on the same thing over and over. It's just very easy to prepare strategies on maps you aren't familiar with and just crushing you. Like, he went like we went Catherine Pass, for example. I knew for a fact he hadn't prepared anything for that. I had. Every single map I prepared something. Not everything was like super complex strategies, but there was like preparation involved in everything.
Yeah, I mean, Love Nest is kind of retired now, so I don't mind saying he had crib notes on every player and every map. He had every situation covered. Anything you could throw against Love Nest, he had an answer for because he'd prepared the theory. You know, so you prepared all your theory, you had your options covered, and that makes Company of Heroes a real-time strategy game. So well played to you, sir. You did really well. $2,000 now from Relic Sega for yourself. That's your second $2,000 tournament
Yeah,
you've won
that's
now,
4,000 now. Feeling pretty good about that. So that's another paid-off trip, basically.
What are you going to do this time?
I'm going to Colombia. That's my current
Colombia!
plan.
Okay, any reason?
A couple of friends live down there, so I want to
Nice.
hang out with them.
Don't,
You know, travel about.
yeah, don't become like a cartel video, please, or anything like that.
I'll try not to.
Okay.
Fortunately, I do look a bit Spanish, so maybe I'm not like your target.
If I see you on Live Leak, I won't be very happy with myself. That wouldn't be good.
Don't worry, I'll shout out Claude too if I
Okay.
go that way.
Okay. All right then, guys. Any questions for Orange Pest? Over to you. I've asked the normal kind of your strat was good question, blah blah blah. What are you gonna do with the money? Got any questions for basically the best Company Heroes 3 1v1 player, probably player, proven now. He won the Master League season for CoH3 last year. Now he's won Relic's big sponsor tournament for this year. Anything you want to ask? Orange Pest say he's a professional athlete. Oh, Daniel D's kind of saying, what? Go on, Orange Pest. There's going to be new players watching. There's going to be a lot of people that want to get good. What are your number one or two tips?
I would say find like, I don't know, like find like a niche that you feel like you're really strong at and keep honing it for like probably like 100+ hours. Because once you find something you're really good at, that creates like a baseline where you have like always a fallback.
Yeah.
And then from that like baseline, you can keep improving. Because what I did is I was focused on my APM in CoH2 for a really long, like 2 years or something. And that was like a big focus, and it carried me through a lot of bad decisions and bad games.
So there you go, guys.
And that lets me,
being a mainline is an ordained path to being a good player. Orange Pest has confirmed you can find one strat, find one faction, and just hone it. And I suppose, Orange Pest, are you learning all the basics of the game whilst you're doing that?
Yeah, exactly. You'll naturally just pick up on everything eventually anyway. So it's just if you just keep playing. Like for me, like it was just natural. The more hours I put into the game, the more like I got out of it up to a certain point. Eventually, auto match becomes worthless, and tournaments don't replicate the scenarios that well.
No,
So
sure.
at that point, you're doing scrims. I mean, I started scrimming Jesselyn and Symbiosis quite a bit, and Inkauna. Those were like my big 3 scrimming partners
Nice.
when I'm not doing stuff with Napoleon.
Yeah,
And that, like, it's just super helpful.
each offers a different playstyle as well, I note.
Yeah, they're very, very different. I mean, Inkauna is very traditional. He plays the very CoH2 style. Jesselyn was interesting to play because he kind of he plays this like very slow, but then like he'll kick off sometimes in the early game and just do weird stuff. Symbiosis was also really fun to play against because he was like his mechanics were actually surprisingly like I think Symbiosis actually probably has probably like top 3 or top 5 like mechanics. It's just the rest of his stuff just isn't there yet.
Yeah, he came across that way when Co1 was was really good back in the day with the likes of Aimstrong and DevM and stuff. He always seemed like he was very good mechanically for certain. So yeah, some interesting scrim partners for this event. How much training and stuff did you actually put into this?
On that day, like prior to the hotfix, I did like 6-8 games against Elpern, where he just killed me with rear and Royal Engineer spam. Get my units mixed up there. And then I was like, okay, this isn't worth practicing because Royal Engineers will just dominate everyone. And then the hotfix dropped, and I spent like, I think, 8 consecutive hours practicing with Jesselyn with basically no breaks.
Wow.
That was very, very helpful, actually.
Yeah, you did a Love Nest GCS2 speed run, basically. Playing
Yeah,
against
like everyone's in the same boat, right? Because the big advantage I had over everyone else is I think I'm way more adaptable than most people. So the fact that like a patch drops right before the tournament helps me quite a bit because I'm used to just playing weird stuff.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at how honed Ferrigy's use of coastals and armored was last patch, you were trading 50-50 with him. And that's putting it politely. When you had a bad week, you were struggling against him, I would say. So I think that's a really good assessment, Orange Pest. Although you do consider yourself mechanically superior at Company of Heroes, it seems that your strategic adaptability is what is getting you the big bucks at the moment.
I mean, the thing is like, Fergie owned coastals and like rifles a lot. But then I kind of knew exactly how his builds will go. So when he plays US, he doesn't take snares.
No.
And I learned that from game 1 or 2 of the first series we had. And I realized when I was looking through the replay, he basically doesn't ever go snares. So for me, that was like, okay, he is putting like a lot of disrespect on that. So I'm just going to punish him on Crossroads. Because Crossroads, in my testing, if you make one mistake, you just lose as a US. Like straight up, you're just done for, which is what happened.
Yeah. Why did you pick Crossroads? Is it because of that? Because you didn't think Fergie had prepared for it?
I know he hadn't prepared for it. It was very obvious when he had no prep for Catherine Pass that he probably didn't test any of the custom maps. Maybe he did a little bit, like before the game starts, but that's like his like 1 day of prep versus me spending like effectively like 2 weeks theory crafting.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know how much prep he did or didn't do, so I'll ask him after that if he's up for an interview, because it's only right that he has a chance to answer that kind of theory.
He can correct the record. He might have prepared, but then like I feel like his preparation was not good, or not. It didn't feel realistic. Because the problem right now, I guess I can say because I've won the tournament now. You don't go rifles against DAC at all. That's not what you do, because you will just lose. Assault Grenadiers will just run you down with the 250, and the follow up into the mid game is just awful for you. You do stabilize in the later game, but it becomes a bunch of all-ins and a bunch of risky plays where you're constantly just worn down by attrition over and over.
So, Orange Pest, you lost one game all tournament. It was to Fergie on the map Faymanville, which is Fergie's best map. And I'm just seeing if Fergie's up for a quick interview after this. Just seeing if he's around. It would be nice to get his thoughts as well. But yeah, Orange Pest, congratulations, mate. You really do deserve it. You deserve to lord over us for another period of time now.
Another year.
What have we done? I told you guys somebody needs to rise up to challenge Orange Pest. Thank you for Fergie for actually giving him a challenge, because Orange Pest really had to think outside the box, I would say, in order to do this. But yeah, there we go.
I will probably be making like a replay analysis of like all my games this tournament, just to give people some insight, because I still feel like a lot of people aren't picking up on the nuances of the game.
Aren't we gonna make a guide? Didn't we say if you won this, we'd make a YouTube
there was
guide?
That thing. Yeah.
I need to do a guide on how to run a tournament because I can't sit back and watch people not seed things properly or whatever.
Yeah,
and you
that's
need to
the
make a guide on how to win tournaments, and then we just like leave it, see what happens. See what happens.
After that, maybe someone will rise up. I was thinking I was maybe gonna try and grab Daniel D. I feel like he'd also have good insight.
Yeah, he seems quite insightful, definitely. There's a few guys that are insightful. Daniel D's one of them. Havoc's another. Momo. You know, there's a few guys in our community. We've got a good, strong core of intellectual, sound, lovely guys. So, yeah, definitely. Anyway.
Yeah, it's just mechanics, but yeah.
Yeah, you go enjoy your spoils of war. Thank you for giving us your strats, giving us your plays, and for playing your best. Orange Pest, well played, mate. You're a deserved champion. Cheers.
See ya.
Bye-bye. Right. Let's go give Fergie a ring now.
Hello, Ian. Hello, everybody.
Hello, Fergie. Firstly, congratulations on being such a bloody good Company Heroes 3 player and for being an excellent rival for Orange Pest in the last several months. You've had some really titanic struggles against him, haven't you?
First of all, thank you so much, and I want to congratulate Orange Pest again. Definitely, he was on top. He was the better player today, so no doubt about it.
So
and also, yeah, just say it. Sorry.
So I didn't know you were going to go on my bet. I'm just so excited to hear your thoughts on some of the stuff Orange Pest will have been saying, and you've heard the casters theorizing and stuff. Like, how do you feel about the strategies employed today? How do you feel about your take on this patch? What went wrong, basically?
Let's start with the first game. When Orange Pest picked Brits, usually I am playing Ver. That is one of my mistakes in this patch, that I haven't played deck as much as I should. And also that double bike and double lasso with Grenadier stats feels very strong, and in my opinion it's nearly uncounterable as USF, because you just, as Orange Pest perfectly just showed to us, he can park on the opponent's cutoff and he just sits there. And after the 8 threats just comes and you are not going to bleed at all, for example. So it's a very nice threat.
Wow. And what left you unprepared for that? Had you not seen enough of it in auto match, perhaps, or in your scrims?
I screamed a lot, so that wasn't the problem. But as I said, that I mean, my bet call was that I went for USF. Maybe if I am going for UKF and starting with Dingo and with the 80 boys, maybe I could make a lot more space for me and secure my fuel easily. But it's still a really hard matchup for UKF versus Death Threat.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
I have thought about it, but I think Orange Pest has to make some serious misplays in that matchup. So yeah, I would say if I am playing twice as good as I played, I wouldn't even won that game, because it just counters my strat. So, or I would say there is no real counter to it.
Wow, there you go. And I think it's, before we commiserate more and talk about what went wrong, I think it's important to note just how many people are your fan. Fergie, you're a lovely guy. You've been an excellent asset to the competitive scene. Some of the play and some of the play style you've showed in this conservative manpower preservational style, a lot of people really dig that, and a lot of people are your fans. So if you're in my chat right now, give Fergie some love, because obviously he's going to be feeling a little bit sad. He's only earned $900 for playing a computer game today. You know, it's only 900.
I am happy to hear that, and also it means a lot when somebody just messaging me. It also motivates me, those kind words that they are always saying before a match or a tournament. So it hypes me up a lot, and it helps. It definitely helps for me. So thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
And I will improve in the future, so I won't stop.
Let's hope there's more tournaments coming. Let's hope Relic have had a taste for increased activity, increased Twitch count, increased YouTube activity. People love competitive play. It doesn't matter if you're team game player versus AI with your buddies. People love to see the best. They love the personalities like you, Fergie, like Orange Pest, like Alpern, like all those guys. So big thanks for trying your hardest and giving Orange Pest a massive run for his money. So yeah, there's definitely things you could have done differently, Fergie, it seems. What about the maps?
Yeah, for sure.
When he chose these maps, did you feel like your heart sank a little bit when you saw Crossroads and Pacino?
With Crossroads, to be honest, I feel comfortable on that map because it's an old CoH3 map. I played on it a lot, so it's not new for me. But I would say the bigger problem for me was the matchup, playing deck SUSR. So yeah, I misplayed that for sure. So on Pacino, yeah, I would say it's not my favorite map, like as deck sense.
Yeah.
I think he fears me from that point of view. That's a really tricky map. You have to play it a bit differently, and also the middle part is allowing different strategies, which not transitioning that well to other maps. So it definitely a unique map, which require unique strategies. So what Orange Pest did with the Assault Engineer's build.
Yeah, exactly. Unique strategy for playing the map properly. Now, to remind people just how strong of a player you are, I'll bring up the brackets and show that you 2-0'd Ares, 2-0'd Ruby, 2-0'd Havoc, and then sadly lost 2-1 to Orange Pest, and then you came up against Ruby in the lower bracket final. How did you find playing against Ruby? He was the third place player this tournament. What did you find of playing against him?
Definitely well played from Ruby. He had a really good day yesterday. He won versus Hawks match 2-0, which is surprised me actually, and also he took a game off from me. But little what's it called? Not fun fact, but behind the scenes thing.
Yeah.
That Ruby is hosting a match or the other opponent always had a 3-second delay, which is extremely huge. So if you rewatch the replay, when I played with Costals, I had the delay because Ruby hosted the match. And you feel every movement is a bit off, 1 or 2 seconds off, so that's the reason of it. Or actually in the second match, when I hosted the game, I am killing the bike in the first 2 minutes with the jeep. And I am sure that he reversed in time, but because of the delay, he couldn't. So it's not about Ruby's a bad player and he just fall for it. It's all about the ping. So yeah, it's really unfortunate. I mean, 3 seconds is a lot.
It's a massive credit to us as a community of gentlemen playing, organizing, casting, watching that we help Company of Heroes look like a competitive title, but there's certainly a lot of work Relic need to do if it were ever to become like legitimately so. Of course, it needs observer mode. It needs the ability to probably host tournaments in client. It needs in-game leaderboards, and that's why it's always a symbiotic effort from the community. This tournament's organized by the community. It's sponsored by Relic, and we need that symbiosis. Not the player, but the symbiotic activity to continue. We need Relic to do their end of the bargain as well, and we definitely need more servers, less lag, and the ability to choose our servers like CoH3, if you remember. That was good, wasn't it, Fergie?
Yeah, that's the game where I started.
Yeah.
And I love that, but at the moment I am already transitioned to Company of Heroes 3, and what's the biggest advantage of the third game is the performance, because I am sure you know that in CoH2 when you have a 50-minute long or more than an hour long game, you start slugging, and it can be really frustrating that it's not about your computer, the game just feels off a bit. Or you have to restart your game after every match.
Yeah, the optimization really does help, yeah.
So you don't have this problem in Company of Heroes 3, and the gameplay feels a lot smoother, or this is my experience. So.
And it can only get smoother as well. I hear rumblings from Relic that they're still working on things, they're still making the game better, and there's a lot planned this year. That's not even announced. So it's very exciting times if you're going to stay on the ride, because it can only get better. But yeah, definitely. If this was CoH3, we would have had you both on NA servers, so you could both have the same lag. I remember that was the Master League rule in CoH2. If I had an Asian and a European, I'd make them both play on the American server, so at least they were both a second and a half behind.
But you can't really choose servers in CoH3, or am I wrong?
You can't. That's what I was saying. We need features like that back. Yeah, we need them.
Yeah, and I am always agreeing with my opponent that once I host the match, once them, because it's just simply unfair if, for example, one of the players always hosting the match when one of them is in Europe and one of them is in Asia. So
wow. Do you know what that tells me? If we're to continue doing tournaments of this caliber, we need new rules, Fergie. We need that ironed out.
Yeah,
we can't rely on
I agree.
gentleman's agreement. I wasn't even aware of that, to be honest. Thank you for bringing it to my attention. So, yeah, thank you so much. And thank you again for being such a stalwart competitor in the last several months, Fergie. Your rise to number 2 in the world, we'll say now, but definitely one of the best players in the world has been fantastic to watch. You're a gentleman. And it's been great having you in the Resurgence Cup.
it was a pleasure for me too.
Excellent. All right then, guys, we're bowing out now. There was Orange Pest and Fergie, your best 2 players in the world. It's been a pleasure having you watching. It's been a pleasure seeing some of the really good games we've had, especially in that lower bracket with the 2v2 games that we've seen. Go and check out some of the hilarious clips that there have been, mostly bombing runs, but there's been some other good stuff as well. So yeah, cheers, goodbye, and have a lovely rest of your Sunday. I've been AE, and until next time, that was CoH3. Cheers. It wasn't finished, but we're not done. Well, now there's a war to be won. We never died, not even once. Welcome to the Resurgence.